Okay. Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach. So we continue. Pasuk Tetvav, Perekhet, Pasuk Tetvav. So the Chokhmah, the Torah continues and says, Bi melachim yimlochu. With me, the kings reign. Veroznim, and the rulers, or the Roznim are the ones that write the rules. Yehokeku tzedek. They will decree justice. Says the Gaon, הרוזנים הם המחוקקים דת ודין, איך להתנהג. The Roznim, the rulers, or the ones that write the laws, they are the ones that put in place the system, how to behave. Right? So it's laws that are entailed to mold and put limits and allow through those limitations and those rules the behavior of the people to grow and better itself. And who are these people? He says these are the alomdim Torah barabim, the one that teach Torah in public. And they don't just teach Torah, and poskim dinim. They apply, or the halacha, right? So it's not just a Torah that is theoretical. It's a Torah that needs to be applicable according to the halacha of the Torah. That is the Roznim. So the rulers, or the ones that should put in place a system of laws that dictate a certain behavior, are the Talmidei Chachamim that not only teach Torah, but also apply the Torah practically and dictate the halacha to their congregants or to their students. I heard from Rav Elaluf Shlita, who heard it from Rav Wolbe Zeretz Tzadik Livracha, that the foundation of Chinuch, it's incredible, because Bemet I didn't, and of the way you the Anhala, the management of the yeshiva, lies in this pasuk. Rav Wolbe said, if you want to manage and run a yeshiva properly, you need two things. You need to be able to relate to the students as a teacher with the authority of a dayan. Usually a dayan, a judge, a rabbinical judge, somebody that imposes the halacha, is distant from the people. He's focused on the analysis, and he doesn't want to be close to people because he doesn't want the emotion, the proximity to spoil his assessment. And usually somebody that teaches Torah goes more into the theory aspect of it, the development of the Torah, and less into the application. Says the Gaon, and that's how Rav Wolbe Zatzal learned the Gaon. The Gaon says, if you want to be a Rosen, if you want to be running a yeshiva successfully, you need to be able to relate to the boys with authority. And we're going to dive into it a little bit more as the Gaon develops this pasuk. So that's Roznim. Veroznim yechokeku tzedek, right? The rulers or the rulers, right? They decree the halacha, the tzedek. The wisdom and the depth in what Rav Wolbe, what Rabbi David Elalouf is teaching us is that if you want students to listen to you, you need to be able to exist within them. You have to live within your own students in order for them to appreciate your commandment or your strictness. So by teaching and by being able to relate to the boys and teach the boys, right? By teaching them, you inject in them your chokhmah. So they live within you. They respect you for what you learn from them, what they learn from you. So now it's easier to then rebuke or be strict when they deviate and impose the rules of the Torah. Impose as a law, not enforce, but because if you're only imposing the law, who are you to tell me what to do? You're not my father, you're not my mother. Even my father and my mother, I don't listen. I'm going to listen to you. So who are you? You have no authority over me. So that's why they don't listen. And if all you do is teach, then they're going to tell you you're just here to give me a lecture, not here give me a class. Teach me the chomer. Who are you? You're only a teacher, right? You come, you give your class, and you go home. Don't tell me how to live my life. You get slapped in the face either way. Comes the Gaon, gives the Hidush. It has to be one person has to have these two traits within him in order to be respected and beloved. And these are the Roznim. But there is another level of authority. The beginning of the pasuk says, "Bi melachim imloch," with me the chokhmah and the Torah, chokhmat Torah, kings reign. So we have another level of authority that's called the king. So says the Gaon, the Melachim, what is the definition of a melech, of a king? Somebody that overlooks to make sure that the laws are being respected and implemented. Meaning that's the role of a menahel. Somebody that I don't know, the CEO, the manager, the dean, whatever the head of the school is, his role is only to make sure that the protocol is being implemented. And who implements the laws? So at the head, it's the Rosnim. It's the rulers. And who are what is the definition? Who are these rulers? Somebody that on one hand can teach, but that has enough authority also to impose. Good.
Does the melachim here have to have the same qualities as the rosnim as well?
No. The melech,
Yeah.
bi melachim yimlochu. The melachim, the melech has to have the chokhmat Torah, in order to be able, with his chokhmah, to see and make sure that the plan of action is implemented. So he needs to have the melech holds at the level of the chokhmah, the knowledge, resource, outlook, but implementation and consolidation of behaviors and rules, this is the Rosnim. The Gaon mixes the second pasuk also as part of this pasuk. So we're going to read it also. Bi sarim yasoru, with me, be or by, through me, sarim, ministers, princes, yasoru, they rule. Unedivim, and the donors, the good men, yeah. Kol mishpetet tzedek, and all the righteous, kol shoftet tzedek, and all the righteous judges, right? So through me, be sarim yasoru, the sarim they rule, undivim kol shoftet tzedek, right? So the nedivim, the shoftet tzedek, and the sarim all use me, the chokhmah, also to rule. So here you see they actually rule. So these are the ones that are actually like using the law, like they're using the law that has been written by the Rosnim. So you have the king that overlooks, like a CEO that overlooks that the strategy is in place and implemented. You have the Rosnim that actually work to put to write the law and strategy, right? And they need to be on both ends of the game. On one end, they need the authority of the king. On the other hand, they need the proximity of the implementers in between. And then on the ground, you need sarim, right? You need nedivim and shoftet tzedek. Three types. You need the righteous judge. You need somebody that's nadiv, that's giving, that has a good heart, and you need to be a prince, noble, a sar, a dignitary. So, all right. So it says the following. He says like this. So we've addressed what the melech is. We addressed what the rosen is. Now the sarim, he says these are the ones that are sparkle, that are appointees of the rosen, right? In different cities to And these are the to make sure that they are like the judges that have the authority to give the psak, to give the halacha. So that's the sarim. In a school, it would be the teachers in different classes. The Nedivim, says the Gaon, they're under the sarim. It's like what they're just on the side, right? Making sure that when there's the halacha that has been dictated, right, that the crowd follow through. Mashgiach. And to be a mashgiach, mechila, to be a teacher, you need to be noble. You need to behave like a sar, like a prince. Yes, meaning why? Because you're carrying you're an extension of the crown. You're carrying the authority of the king. So you have that authority, but you have to apply it in the vision of the king, right? So you're implementing, you're teaching the vision and the derech of the CEO of the king. The Nedivim, it's the Mashgiach, is the one that's, with the students, and making sure they follow through. I don't even know what this is called in the school, normal school. I don't even think they have. Maybe they do. And that's, being next to the boys, and the boys, did you do your homework? And did you, do the kids follow through? That's the Nedivim. And why are they called Nedivim? Because essentially you're like a police officer, right? You're just making sure, did you do your homework? Did you do this, right? So it's almost the role that the parents do when the kids come back from school. Yeah. Which is messed up when you think about it. But and says the Gaon, so why if they're shotrim, if you're overwatching that your kids did what they're supposed to do, okay, why are you calling nadiv a good heart? It's because if you're too tough, then liot nedivim velo achzarim, you cannot be cruel, because if you're too tough and you're cruel, you break them, and then you lose the purpose of the role that you're playing. And on the other hand, they cannot bribe you. They cannot play with your emotions. So you have to be kind enough to feel for them, but strong enough to make sure that you push them to do what they're supposed to do. So again, we have the Melech overrules and oversees the entire operation. We have the Rosen, who actually puts together the strategy, the plan, the program. Yes? Then he passes it on to the Sarim, the teachers, who actually implement the program. and teach based on the protocol. But it's not enough that you teach them. You need, you see, that's the look, Andy. That look was the look of the Nedivim. Right? So that you have the signs, the teachers, they teach, but you need to know that whatever you taught is, there's a follow-up, there's integration of it, right? And that's the mashgiach, that's the Nedivim. Kol shofte tzedek. Here, very interestingly enough, the Gaon doesn't address Kol Shofte Tzedek. And I explain why. Kol Shofte Tzedek, every Nadiv must be a Shofet Tzedek. What does that mean? He has to want the Tzedek, he has to want the Emet. If you want to see through the implementation of the Chinuch that has been invested in a child, you have to be just. You have to be like a judge that is just. You have to approach the child with the people with the right, with an impartial and objective outlook, which is extremely difficult, because essentially the Nadiv is the closest to the student. So he is the most emotionally connected or impacted, right? Because the Nadiv is the one that's going to go crazy because the child doesn't listen or doesn't do the homework, okay? And he's the one that, so he can or love the boy or hate the boy. It's very simple. Go home when your wife teaches your kids, and you're going to see they go crazy when they start teaching. They're screaming and they don't listen and you didn't do your homework, right? Because emotionally they're the closest to the child, to make sure that whatever they're being taught is implemented, is followed through. So and that makes them the frontliner emotionally of all these people with the child, right? They're in the front line. So specifically the Nedivim, Kosh of Tzedek, they must behave. It's true that they're Nadiv, that you have to have the trait of somebody that's soft and caring, okay? But they also have to have an approach of a Shofet Tzedek, a judge that's judging impartially and objectively. You cannot allow the proximity or the emotion to be too loose or too tough when you want the application and implementation of what the child has learned. Right? It's like there was the child got a zrika, he got an injection. You want this to be retained in him. It has to be done with an approach of objectivity. You need the emotion, you need the proximity, but you cannot be too soft and you cannot be too tough. He cannot bribe you and you cannot break him. So essentially, the Nadiv Kol Shofte Tzedek is the practical application of the Rosen. Think about it. because the rosen also has to be on one end close to the king and write the law, okay, and so that but also close to the people so that they accept the law, right? So there's also a balance between emotion and rigor. So that's says the Gaon, and that's how Rav Wolbe saw it. Rav Wolbe saw this pasuk with the eyes of a mechanech. When he learned this pasuk as a teacher. So he saw a beautiful structure through the lens, talking about through the lens of a teacher, and that's how he translated and Mechila. If I twisted a little bit what the Gaon said based on what I heard from Rabbi David Elaluf, but it's very beautiful to see and to integrate. Essentially, what the Gaon wants to say is the structure of Am Israel. The structure of Am Israel is that we have a king, is we have Rosnim, we have the people that actually write the law. These are the Talmidei Chachamim that teach, but there are also Dayanim like the Sanhedrin, right? And then under that, we have the Sarim, Sarei Alafim, Sarei Meot, Sarei Chamishim, Sarei Asarot, right? Like we see in the Torah. And there are the Shoftim that actually the Bnei Israel come to get a psak halacha, to get a judgment, right? And then we have the shotrim. We have the shotrim, that the police officers like that make sure that whatever the halacha is, it's been followed through, right? And whoever has to pay actually pays, and whoever has to get malkut actually gets malkut, etc. Kol shoftei tzedek, and all in a spirit of objectivity and tzedek. That's the pshat according to the Gaon. In the pasuk Tet Zayin, Bi Sharim Yashu, he says in the big in the pshat of the Gaon, as it says, he says these are the ministers, the dignitaries, the shoftim, right, that are in the cities, right? And says the Gaon, them also must be Baalei Torah, which is very important. Meaning, it's not enough that you apply the rule. You have yourself to be able to live the rule. So the Sarim, the Shoftim, must be Baalei Torah. Even if they have the protocol and they have the book with what is mutar, what is have, they follow the Shulchan Aruch. But if they are not Baalei Torah, if themselves they are not people of Torah, then they will not read the halacha properly. Meaning, if I apply what the Gaon says in Chinuch, if you don't live teaching, if you're not a teacher in your essence, you're never going to be able to just convey the program to the kids. It's not enough. It's not enough. You need to be a mechanech. You need to have chinuch in your blood. You need to be a baal chinuch in order to be mechanech, to be a teacher. Unedivim kol shofetei haaretz. He says these are, like we said, these are the shotrim, right? These are the officers, right? That make sure that the halacha is followed through. the Gaon says something very, 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 very deep. He says like this. Shlomo Melech comes and tells us, basically, what is he going to tell us? How do I make sure that I take the chokhmah from where it comes and make sure it hits home in the heart of the end user? That's the she'ela. That's the she'ela. Nachon? You hear? In business, I have an idea. How do I make sure I take my chokhmah, I take my product, and make sure it gets all the way to the heart of the end user, that this is what he wants and nothing else? Says the Gaon, says Shlomo Melech, you need steps. Step number one, you need a protocol, a plan of action, a strategy. And how do you build that strategy? Based on two things. Number one, what is the chokhmah telling you? What is the product about? What is the chinuch that you're trying to be mechanech? And that is the halacha, the psak. But on the other hand, how do you communicate it? You have to be a Talmid Chacham that teach. So in which formula am I presenting? It's like the packaging, the information, the story. That's the strategy. So that's the rosen, right? That's step two. The essence, the content of what you're trying to accomplish, and its packaging and its presentation. The story around it. How is it being communicated? And then make sure you have a sales force, you have representatives, teachers, salesmen, bankers, whoever that live the product, that live the mission, and that have it in them, so that they can actually convey it with a passion and an intimate interest. And it doesn't stop there. And after that, you need a follow-up. After that, you need another layer, okay, of individuals that make sure to close the deal. That will go and give and massage the end user. This is what you need. This is good. How can I make sure that you did it, right? And be emotionally connected, but not too much. Because at the end, you want the product to be sold. You want the information to be taught. You want the chinuch to be engraved in the heart of the child. And this is how you close the loop from step one, which is the idea, to step five, which is the implementation. And that's how you secure, right, the link. This is the chinuch of Am Yisrael. Now the link is sealed. Whatever you transmitted, you transferred, you taught, is not living within the student. This is chinuch. This is teaching. Any questions?
I thought that it would go through kings being the midot and the thoughts. It changed the way of the what it was, the teaching.
What do you mean?
No, when it said kings, I thought that it was going to talk about your thoughts and continuing the process we were coming to.
From the what we've learned until now.
Kings and prince and rulers.
But he's going. It is going and following through, and I tell you how, because we're coming to learn about right now all the benefits of the Chokhmat Torah, right? And we have said, the Torah said that what? I'm resourceful, right? I know you have to know how to learn about the Yetzer Hara, and through that you know how to implement, etc. Right? Now he's taking this and showing you how it's applied in the whole step, in the whole
Ecosystem.
Ecosystem. Okay. So it starts from the Chokhmat Torah, and it ends further than just a behavior. It ends living as a Chokhmah inside somebody else.
Yeah, the process. He's giving you the process.
Nachon.
Okay.
Sorry, I disappointed you.
No. I want to understand, not the disappointment. I want to understand why they change. Okay, now he's giving you a process in order to implement.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. So it is following
Okay. I get it.
We're going to do one more pasuk. No, we're going to stop it because this pasuk is shayach more to Yudchet than to Tetzayin. Okay, Be'ezrat Hashem. So we're going to stop here. We finished pasuk Tetvav and Tetzayin. Okay, in the Be'ezrat Hashem. The next pasukim are very fascinating and very uplifting.
Fantastic. Thank you, Rabbi. I might miss tomorrow's